Hello.
Hello,
Got yawned.
everybody.
Saturday
What's
morning
happening?
yawn.
Oh,
I'm just being destroyed.
yawning.
Exactly. Hello, welcome to Saturday morning, level 6 to 7 focus activity. I can see some of you are already introducing yourselves. Fantastic. So hi, Alex. Hi, Maurizio. Welcome. Tell us
Welcome.
where you're from and what you do. If you have any plans this weekend, we want to know.
Okay. Hi, Simon from Parma. Lots of people today. Great.
Yeah, it's nice. Simone
Yeah.
Maurizio is from Rome. Okay,
hmm
lovely,
Yeah.
lovely. So I am Jadene, and I'm from England, and obviously I am a teacher, but I teach in Milan.
Yeah.
So
And I am Anika. I'm also a teacher in Milan, in Mervilli. And I am originally from Bangladesh. And I've been living in Italy for about 6 years now. Okay. So, do you have any plans for the weekend, Jaden?
no. No, no, I don't have any plans. Um,
Yeah.
Ariana from Milan, excellent. And Luca, I think I recognize you, so welcome back. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the weather is cloudy today in Rome. I'm sad.
Oh,
I think in Milan it
it's sunny in
looks
Milan.
okay. Yeah, but we don't go outside, so I don't know. Um, but no, I don't have any plans. I do want plans. I want to
Mhm.
do something, but I don't
Yeah.
know what. Maybe I will try to cook some pasta. Or no, I will try
Mhm.
to make some pasta with my housemate out of
Wow,
flour. Exactly.
cool.
Um, but I don't know. Matteo is also from Milan. Hello, and Ariana from Milan. She says her plan is to stay at home. Yes.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
surprise.
does anyone have? Oh, one sec. Does anyone have any good? Yeah, I don't know. Advice for us for things
Ooh,
we
look
can
at that.
do at home? Oh, I'm going to read The Catcher in the Rye. Have you read this, Anika?
Yes, I have.
Did you
And I
like it?
actually, I'm not sure if I like it much because it doesn't really have a plot and it's just like a conversation, like a monologue. The whole book was like a little kid talking about things. So maybe I enjoyed some parts, but it's not really
Yeah.
my type of book, I would say. Have you read it, Jaden?
I have read it. I felt a very similar way. Maybe
Mhm.
I always missed being at school in high
Mhm.
school or secondary school because I loved my English classes and we would analyze books. And I think if you can understand something really well, then you
Mhm.
can appreciate it even if you don't like it. Um,
Mm.
but sometimes I don't know how to understand something alone. So I kind of I need that guidance from a teacher. So maybe this is what I was missing.
Hmm.
Okay, wow. And
Maybe.
Alex, later probably I'll start to watch the Marvel saga. There are a lot of films in this saga.
Oh, I've never seen this.
Any of them?
No, none of them. No.
Oh, hang on. So
Yeah.
Simone says, someone said that The Catcher in the Rye is interesting for its hidden meaning. Well, it's a very, very famous book,
Yes.
um, really popular. So maybe read it, come back to the
Mhm.
webinar and tell us, tell us
Hmm.
what you think and why.
I have
Because
a question for
definitely,
Simone.
I know I didn't understand it, but
Yeah.
anyway, Anika, you go.
Yeah, I have a question for Simone. Are you going to read it in English or in your language?
Ah, that's very true. Who is your favorite author, Anika? And I promise, guys,
Mine?
we will do the focus activity, but just in a minute.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. It's a hard choice, but I think I like John Steinbeck a lot.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever read John
Do
Steinbeck.
you know the Mice and
Of
Men?
Mice and Men, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's the
no.
writer. I think I really like how he writes.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Simone is reading
nice.
in English. Well done, well done.
Very cool.
And Alex, yes, 23 films. Wow. But
Whoa.
okay, you do have a lot of time. Are you gonna watch them in English or in your language?
Good question. Yeah.
Oh,
The
hello,
Catherine the Rhyme.
Vincenzo.
Go ahead.
No, no, you go, Anika.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention to Simona that it's full of informal language. So you may want to be a little bit careful about like what to use
Ooh,
where. Okay, so Maury says, I'll renovate a wooden table for my terrace. Nice.
that's nice. That's what I would
Yeah.
like to do. I really like
Yeah.
doing like kind of physical things. I'm not good at them, but I really enjoy them. So maybe I will
Yeah.
try to make something. Ah, and Luca,
Mm,
I'm watching Game of Thrones in English. Nice,
very
nice.
nice.
Yeah. Oh man, instead of the webinar, we could just do a podcast, I think, all
Yeah.
all day about what should we do, what films and books.
Yeah.
But maybe
There's
later.
so much to do. Yeah.
Okay. So today,
So we're
however,
going to get
we are
started.
doing geography. Yes, Anika, take it away.
Yeah. So let's talk about geography. I've never been very good at geography at school, to be honest. But as an English lesson, we're just going to talk about some vocabulary related to geography. So in this focus activity, we're going to talk about comparing geographic locations, superlatives and comparatives. So this is grammar, and we're going to talk about some vocabulary related to geography. Okay, hope I
Excellent.
haven't missed
Oh,
anything.
yeah, we've got more. And then Maurizio is doing a
Sorry,
workout. But don't
is
forget,
this
Maurizio is and then. So then we will use later. Then is when we compare things, but then is for sequence. But they're very similar.
Yeah. I think a lot of native speakers also spell this wrong. And I've seen a lot of
Maybe
people
because
like
it.
even,
Oh, it's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Like a lot of people make mistakes on this. So don't feel bad about it. So
Very
we
true.
have here a geography quiz. Alex here says, I'll watch in my language, but after that, with my girlfriend, we are going to watch some Disney film in English. Nice. I love Disney films.
Yeah. Everyone does. Everyone does.
Great, Alex. Yeah. So movies are a great pastime these days, especially if you're learning a language. Like I try to do the same in Italian because I'm trying to improve my Italian.
Or maybe
It's
I
not
should do
easy,
this.
mind
But
you,
my Italian is so bad. I would have to watch like kid shows, but then I don't know if I find them interesting, so I cannot keep watching it. It's a very difficult cycle for me.
well, that's fine. I'm actually reading a kid's book in Italian. So have a look at this. So this is a kid's book, actually. Like
What does
for, I
this
think,
say?
I don't know. La
Because it's
Freccia Azzurra, it translates to the blue arrow.
oh, okay,
So
cool.
it's a children's book that I'm reading. So I think it's a good way to start with children's book.
Ooh, did you enjoy? Are you enjoying it?
Bless you.
Thank
Oh
you.
yes, yeah, it's very nice, very nicely written, very sweet. It's a very sweet book.
Okay. Good. And I was just saying, Simone, yesterday I tried to watch Peaky Blinders series. So don't forget, we need the S.
Yeah.
Um, in the original language, impossible. So I don't know if you're aware of this, Anika, but Peaky Blinders is set in Birmingham. I have not watched it. But the Birmingham accent, or the Brummie accent, as we say, is very difficult even for other people in the UK to understand.
Oh
So
goodness.
really, really funny. Yeah, that you would try and watch it. Just because, yeah, the language, the accent is so difficult. But well done anyway for trying.
Yeah, Simone is a hardcore learner of English.
Yeah. Exactly. You could watch it with the English subtitles as well. Then it would help you to hear the different accent and match it to the word.
Good idea. Okay, so here we have a quiz, a geography quiz that we're going to talk about. And so if you guys know the answers to the quiz, type it up for us. We get your response a little bit late because there's a time delay, but we're going to give you some time for that. So here's the first line, the first quiz that goes, Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world, 1,637 meters deep. It holds 20% of the world's freshwater. Lake Baikal is in. Where do
Okay.
you think this lake is? If you know, let us know.
I don't know, but I have a question for you, Anika. What is the difference
Yeah.
between a lake and a river? Because I can see the next question is on a river.
All right. So a lake is much smaller than a river, and a river can be really long. It like flows on, but a lake it's more limited. Yeah. So lake is much
Okay.
smaller than a river, I would say.
And does it move?
Even smaller than lake would be a pond. So a pond is like really small.
Okay. Yeah, so a pond is something you can have in your garden, right?
Yeah. In the park, whatever. Hi, Beatrice from Milan. Hello, Vincenzo.
Oh, Beatrice.
Oh,
Yay.
Maurizio says Russia. He's got it. I
Vincenzo
think
wants to cheat. So yes, okay. Oh, I don't know what's happening with my computer, but yes.
Oh, okay.
So well
No.
done. And also Luca as well.
Oh, nice, Luca. Yeah. Yeah, you can cheat, Vincenzo. No Google search here. We trust you.
Oh
Well, you know what? I
no.
didn't know the answer either.
Anika,
What happened?
I think YouTube is being bad again.
Oh no.
I can't put any comments.
Um,
Oh no, I can. Okay, we'll see. We'll see
oh,
what happens.
hmm,
But if we
okay.
cut out, guys, I'm really sorry. Just prepare yourselves.
Yeah, if not, I'm gonna like for me it's fine. So if anything happens, just keep me posted and I'm gonna type up things
Okay.
instead.
Okay.
Okay, so well done. Some of you got it. So Ariana, river is smaller
Ah,
and longer than lake.
yes,
River,
but don't
I
forget,
think.
guys. So no, I do think she's talking about a river because usually they can be thin, but rivers can be very large. But I think the
Mm-hmm,
main difference is that a river flows. So
mm-hmm,
to flow is a moving body of water, whereas a lake just sits there,
mm-hmm,
and maybe it collects water from when it rains, or maybe a river flows into it, but it
mm-hmm.
doesn't move itself. There is no current.
True. Yeah, less movement in the lake. Okay. So, Jadine, do you want to take the next one? The
Sure.
widest
So,
river.
yeah, some people have already
Is
answered
it
this.
too small
So,
for
the
you?
widest river, no, it's okay. The widest river in the world is the Amazon River in, and Maurizio has said, South America. Exactly. The Amazon is in South
South
America.
America. Right. And you're right, absolutely. And the last one goes like this. The highest waterfall in the world is Angel Falls at 979 meters. It is located in,
Ooh, I don't
Myes.
know. What?
The film called Up. Have you seen the movie, the
Oh,
animated movie
you know,
Up?
yes, but not for years, not for years and years. So I don't really
Oh,
remember.
yeah. Well, in that movie, the dream of this couple was to go to Angel Falls. So
Oh, so
Venezuela, so
nice.
it's an answer. Yeah, great.
In
Thank you. Next.
Venezuela, okay. And also well done everyone who got South America for the last question as well. And
Mhm.
Beatrice, really nice. So a lake is a closed pool, yes. River is like an aisle where water is always moving.
Yes. Perfect. Yes, Matteo, you're
Um,
absolutely right.
Actually,
So
guys, I have
you've
two
got it.
bonus questions. I have two bonus questions because usually I don't know
Go ahead.
anything, but I happen to have two other facts about lakes and waterfalls. So if anyone can answer, well done.
Ooh.
Um, I'll type them up, but you can continue. Um, and maybe I've
Oh, that's
spelt
fine.
maybe I've spelt them wrong, but we'll see.
I think they're gonna correct you with autocorrect or something.
Maybe the name of the lake, I don't know. Um,
Uh,
so
well,
this
my
is
geography is
bonus
really bad.
question number one.
Lake Tilicho is the highest
Pilico?
lake in the world. Tilico
Hmm.
is the highest lake in the world. Where is it? Oh, my geography is so bad. I don't think I know that one.
I will reveal the answers at the end.
Whoa.
Because
Nice.
this is my second question. I feel so clever. Ooh.
Oh, I love these questions. In what country is the widest single drop waterfall? Single drop waterfall? What?
Yes. So a single drop waterfall is literally where there is like a cliff edge and then the water
Uh-huh.
goes down. So usually on a waterfall, it's like this, it
Yeah.
goes down, it goes down. But this is just
Oh,
okay. Alex
interesting.
has said the Himalayas, but I mean country. This is my bad phrasing of the question. Which country? But very good guess, Alex. And Antonio is not correct to say I
Mhm.
don't know nothing, is it? No, because this is a double negative. So if you say I don't know nothing, it means you know something. So we either say I know nothing or I don't know anything. But in English, it's very important. Two negatives together make it positive.
Yes.
Okay, so I will reveal answers at the end, guys.
Oh, I think it's hard to stay patient for me as well. But we're gonna wait till the end. That sounds really evil,
Okay.
but we're gonna wait till the end. Oh, cool.
Okay.
So we are going to move here. Here we have some vocabulary related to geographic locations. The photos are here and you have to match them with the words on the left. So if you know the answers, please type them up. You can write the alphabet and then the word. And if you're not sure about something, you can go ahead and type up the next one.
Mm,
Okay. So
exactly.
we're going to give you some time for it. But
Wow,
let's,
what
Jadene can
beautiful
read the list
pictures.
here for pronunciation.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what's that?
So we have, I said the pictures are so beautiful, all of them.
They are, yeah.
Okay, so we have valley, river, desert, island, canyon, lake, mountains, and cliffs. And I just want you guys to listen to the pronunciation of these two words. So the first one is island, and notice that I don't pronounce the S. So island, the S is silent. The second one is desert. Okay, so in the word desert, we stress the first syllable. There is another word that is very similar, which is, a minute, dessert. Okay, so in dessert, we stress the second syllable, and a dessert is a sweet thing that we eat after dinner. Okay, and a desert, the first syllable, desert, is one of these pictures. So desert, dessert, very different.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of students confuse these words.
Yeah, probably I prefer dessert to desert, but okay. we have some answers. So Vincenzo, Alex, Maurizio, they say A is valley.
Cool. B.
And then
We have
also
as
Alex
well.
has said mountains, Vincenzo, mountains. Excellent, Maurizio, mountains.
And very good.
And then C, we have lake. D, we have island.
Yes.
Well done.
Remember about the silent
Well
S?
done. Exactly, Beatrice, Maurizio, everybody. E, we have desert. So again, we stress the first syllable, desert. And then I don't know if anyone has put F. Oh yeah, no, sorry, Beatrice. F is cliff.
Also
Excellent.
Maurizio.
And Maurizio. So a cliff is where the land suddenly ends and there is a very big drop. So sometimes when someone is telling you a story, or if you read a book or watch a film and suddenly it ends and you don't know what has happened, we can say it is a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
So when there is suddenly something finishes. So
yeah, the part of a story that keeps you wanting more, like you want to know what happens next.
exactly. Well done, Antonio, as well. G, Vincenzo says, along with many people, is a river, and he also says it's the Arno River in Florence. Okay.
Oh, cool. I thought it looked like an Italian river. Kind of reminded me of the Tiber River in Rome.
Oh, interesting. So finally, is that a canyon?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a picture of a
Yes,
canyon?
it is. It really is.
Really?
It is a picture of a canyon.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
It looks kind of like
Yeah. Do you know it's so
maybe
it's really small on my screen. I hope you can all see it better. But all of this light brown stuff, I thought it was a sunset, but it's not a sunset. It's a mountain cliff. So okay. Yes. So we would just say cliff is singular. So yeah, they are actually called the Cliffs of Dover.
Cliffs of Dover.
And they are very white.
Have you ever been in a
chalky.
canyon?
Have I ever been in a canyon? No problem, yeah. Alex. Yes, actually, I have been. I've been swimming in a canyon.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's nice, but with a life jacket
Yeah.
because I cannot swim. I cannot swim. In Indonesia.
Oh, that's so lovely. Must have been
Yeah, it was
amazing. It
nice.
must have been like a
It
really
it
nice
was.
experience.
Have you ever been
Mm.
in a canyon?
No, not unfortunately not yet, but I would love to. I always wanted to see the Grand Canyon in the US.
Mm.
One of
No,
my
I would
dreams.
also. Yeah, I like them. I think they're really yeah, they're just really strange bits of nature that you don't really get to see. Well,
Mm.
I don't anyway. They're quite rare. So,
Mm.
all right, Maurizio, yes, the White Cliffs of Dover, exactly. They are white because there is a lot of chalk,
Mm.
which, if you've been to a Myes school, chalk is what we use to write on the board. So, this thing. And Alex says, I visited, but now he's left us on a cliffhanger because you want to know what. Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
I visited Cliffs of Moher in Ireland some years
Oh,
ago. Cool, cool.
nice. I haven't been to Ireland yet. Would love to.
Mm. Yeah, I'd like to go to where Lisa is from on the west. It sounds very, or it looks, I've seen pictures, really, really nice, really green.
Wow. Mm. Yeah. It's definitely on my bucket list. So we're gonna move forward and talk about some adjectives related to these vocabulary that we talked about before. So, what is the
Exciting.
opposite of these words? Yeah, so the words we have are wide, deep, high, and the opposites are low, narrow, shallow. So we have to match the left with the right. So if you know the answer, type them up, let us know. Oh, Mateo says I visited Grand Canyon 2 years ago. Really? I'm jealous. I want to go there too. So, oh, good. High, low. High is the opposite of low.
But I want everyone to know that this is not used to describe people. So we can use it to describe geography. When we talk about people, we say they are tall or short. You do not say it is a high person or a low person.
Yeah. Well, that could have a different meaning though.
No, it is very true.
Okay.
Many different meanings as well.
Yeah. If you come to think of it, like, hey, it works, but in a different way.
Okay,
So,
so
Alex, well
excellent,
done. Wide,
guys.
narrow, good. Deep, shallow. And wide is not the opposite of shallow, Beatrice. So wide is the opposite of narrow.
Mm,
Then, okay, so let's reveal the answers
so
because I think most of you
something
have
is
got it. So
wide,
wide is the opposite.
something is narrow.
Yeah. So I think these words may not be very common and they're quite different from Italian. So I'm going to explain a little bit. So if something is wide, then the width of it is like this. Like if a table, if something has a rectangular shape and the shorter length is like that, it's wide. Whereas if the shorter length is like this, it's narrow.
Mm.
And then we have, of course, deep is the opposite of shallow. So something deep is like the ocean goes down below like thousands of meters, and shallow is like at a beach where the water begins. It's still shallow. It's not very deep. And of course, high and low like mountains.
Exactly, Vincenzo. The Amazon River is wider than the Arno River. And usually
Mm,
when we talk about these, we would use the articles because we're only talking about one thing, not generally. and we're talking about specific things we know about. So we use the article, the Amazon River is wider than the Arno River.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, if you have any questions, please let us know. Okay, so we can move forward to some more adjectives. So describing geographic features. So which adjectives would you use to describe these geographic features? So the locations that we talked about go or match with only some of these adjectives, not all of them. So if you already know, you can start answering. So maybe we can start with the first one so they get a feel of it.
Yeah, sure. Although actually, I don't know the answer for the first one. I guess you would say a valley can be wide or narrow. And
Well, I
but
think
I
I
don't
have
know.
figured out like a I have figured out like a rule like that I think we could use. There could be exceptions, yeah, but I think the things, the geographical things that are above the ground, they can be high or low. And the ones that are below the ground, they're wide, narrow, and deep or shallow. It's like
Yeah.
above and below sea level.
Okay.
Although there could be exceptions, I am not sure if there are exceptions for that, but yeah.
So
Okay,
Vincenzo says for a valley, it can be all of them. I agree. I think because you can say a low valley, but you can't really say a high valley because I know valleys are always low. So if they're always low,
exactly.
okay,
Yeah, they
okay.
cannot be above the ground, so they can only be
Oh,
wide and narrow, deep and shallow.
for example,
Oh no, they can be low.
Is Milan in a valley? I don't know if that's a very stupid question, but because Milan is like the mountains are like this and Milan is like this.
Yeah, yeah.
But would you say it's in a valley or no?
Mm, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. Could
It's
be.
difficult, isn't it?
But then I
Yeah,
was
so
thinking about a. It's difficult, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Milan in a valley?
yeah. Well, as we
And
mentioned, we're quite bad with geography, so this is more for us to learn than for you. I'm sure you're fine. um, okay, so
it kind
Beatrice
of
just said,
reminds me of a song that talks about a
"Ain't
low
no
valley.
mountain high."
Yeah.
Oh, there's that one. Nothing to keep me. It's a great song.
It really is so much fun.
It always reminds me of Bridget Jones as well when she's running through the street in her knickers. Okay, so Beatrice says rivers can be wide or narrow, deep or shallow. Exactly.
Oh yeah, exactly. So again, this is below, so never be high or low. Although valley can be just low and not high. How about canyon? So I personally found it. I think I got the logic later on. So what do you guys think? Knickers is quite British, isn't it? I mean, I personally never
Yeah,
use knickers.
yeah.
Don't
Really?
use the
What would
word
you?
knickers.
What would you use? I don't know. I realize that the K is
Underwear.
silent. K is silent. Oh, just underwear.
Yeah, or
Oh yeah.
underpants, yeah.
Okay. So I recommend all of you to watch Bridget Jones during quarantine. It's
Yeah, I think it's a good
very
one.
it's poignant of of the UK maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Um Okay, so Mateo says canyon can be high or low, but Maurizio says deep or high. So guys, yeah, okay, so Beatrice, deep and narrow, I agree, because canyons, as we mentioned, like valleys, are always low. A canyon is something that is below the surface. So we wouldn't really say it's a low canyon, because low is like physical location. Is it here or here or here? Whereas deep or depth is how much like this it is. So I don't know if that makes sense. So low or high is something is here, something is here, something is here, and depth is like this is the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've either made that easier or really confusing.
No, I think you're right. I think the key is to look at the sea level, like if it's above sea level or below sea level. Like, yeah. So depth is a nice word that Jadene has used. Depth is the noun for deep. Okay, so it takes a lot of time for me to like type up the comments. Not sure why. Oh, there it is.
No, me too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Mountains and cliffs are quite similar. They're above the sea level. They go up. So what do you think they could be? Mountains, high and low, very good. What about cliffs? Oh, we forgot
Oh, there's
lake.
also lake.
Sorry,
Yes.
I skipped one. So
No,
lake.
do you know what? I don't know if
Yeah.
they're completely in line. But
Deep
yeah,
or
okay. So
shallow?
excellent, Beatrice. Lake, deep or shallow. And Vincenzo, mountains, high or low.
Can be.
And what about cliff?
Hmm.
Oh, sorry, I can't stop yawning.
That happens on Saturday mornings. Totally normal. So cliffs are really mountains. Well, it's interesting that lakes can take wide and narrow, but only deep and shallow. I think it's because like
I
lakes are not like rivers
Yeah,
narrow like that.
lakes tend to be some type of circle. Maybe not an exact circle, but they are a circular shape. So if something is a circle, it can't really be wide or narrow, because generally circles have kind of a uniform shape. And depending on where you cut it,
Exactly. And then
you don't know where the width is.
yeah, exactly. Not like river like this on the photo here, where it's like kind of like a rectangular.
Exactly. Yeah, you
Okay.
can't really
So
get
I'm not going
the.
to give you the answer for cliff.
Okay, so yeah, I think you're right. There is definitely some confusion between what can be deep and what can be high or low. And we'll just keep trying to explain it, but high or low is to do with position of surface.
Yeah.
So a
So sorry,
mountain,
Beatrice and
and my comments are also slow. But yeah, a mountain is high because the surface or the main point of a mountain is very high, and the same for a cliff. Okay, you can look down on something, but
yeah.
depth, if you imagine like a glass or a cup, so depth is how much something can contain. So a cliff or a mountain cannot contain anything, but the ocean the ocean contains the water. A canyon contains space. and it's how far down the space can go.
Yeah, okay, about the level of the sea, yeah. Alex has got it. Good. Yeah, so anything above the
Exactly.
ground can be high or low.
Yeah, so as you can see in this picture as well, it's like we're standing on a cliff and looking down to
Hmm.
the river, and the cliff is very high. But if you go in the river may be really deep or it may be shallow.
Hmm.
But the position of the river is just on the ground. So we cannot say if it is high or low.
Hmm. Maurizio says depends where you are and non-observed. Could you elaborate on that, Maurizio? Depends where you are. Well, these adjectives are like fixed, and no matter where you are, you can use only these adjectives for these geographical locations. Okay, so for example, the Himalaya is a high mountain. You know what I mean? So it can only be either high or low.
Oh, and nice. So Vincenzo has also just corrected the spelling. So yeah, we spell where with a silent H. So
Hmm.
well done.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
shall we
I
move
often
on
find
and then
students
maybe?
asking. Yeah, sure.
Oh
If
no,
you have
sorry.
questions, wrap up anytime. I often find a lot of students asking questions in the previous slide. So
Yeah,
if you have to, even if you move forward, we're gonna come back to your questions if you have any.
of
So we're
course.
gonna do a discussion on town related to these geographical locations. So in pairs, da, da, da. So these are three questions that we're gonna talk about. So number one, how would you describe the street in your city or hometown, narrow or wide?
For me,
So you guys can answer
I
as
come
well. Yeah,
from
what about you, Jadene?
yeah. So I come from London. So we have lots of different streets. Some are wide, some are wider, but
Mhm.
most of them I would say are quite narrow, um, because London is very populated. There are lots and lots of people and lots of cars that park
Hmm.
at the side of the road. So to make the most of space, it's better to have more
Mhm.
narrow roads. And Vincenzo says, my city is Parma. Here we have
Mhm.
wide streets. It sounds very nice.
Cool. Nice.
What about you, Anika?
Well, the city where I grew up is called Dhaka, and there are all sorts of streets. There are wide ones, narrow ones. The street where I lived in was a wide one, like,
Okay.
and yeah, it's a wide street, which was not very convenient because too many cars made it like really noisy.
Oh
But anyway,
no.
yeah. So Luca here says the street in my town. Oops. The street in
Oh,
my town
very
are very narrow
narrow.
because it's a
Mm,
very old town. I
yeah,
like narrow
that's
streets.
common.
Hmm.
Okay,
So
so shall we move on to the second question? Just
sure.
because I think it will be nice if we can try and do the grammar, but I know we're running out of time.
Oh, yeah. Let's go
Um,
ahead.
so
This is
what is
question.
its most important source of water? Is it fresh water or salt water? Vincenzo says in Parma, our source of water is fresh water as we are far from the sea. Okay, excellent. And Alex, in Modena, we have
Mm-hmm.
wide streets and also narrow. And oh my God, so many.
Hmm.
Maurizio, my street is narrow and there is a lot of traffic all day. I hope there is not any traffic now during the quarantine.
Hmm.
And Matteo, in Milan, there are lots of streets. Yes, some of these are narrow and the others are wide. In the center, the streets are usually narrow. I agree. Um,
Hmm.
So finally, and I'll ask this to you, Anika,
Hmm.
what is the geography of your city or hometown? Are there any mountains, valleys, or cliffs?
Hmm. So in my hometown, there are no mountains or valleys or cliffs in the city where I grew up in, and it's a very low-lying area. So sometimes flooding was a problem if it rained too much and really narrow and like small areas or really low-lying areas near the lake could be flooded by water, which could be a problem. Um,
Okay.
but then outside the city, there are
Good.
some mountainous regions and the beach. Oh, Vincenzo here says Parma is in a flat land called Pianura Padana. Nice,
Okay. Cool. That is
nice.
interesting to know. So shall we skip not to the next slide, but the one after, and we can maybe just talk about the comparative really quickly?
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. So yeah, we
Uh,
don't have time to maybe I think the one before.
um, okay, so we have the comparative and superlative adjectives. Um, so we have talked about some adjectives before, and we're gonna use them to compare things. Now, if you compare two things, you use the comparative adjectives. Usually you use at the end, or you double the consonant and you use at the end to make it a comparative. For example, Mont Blanc is high because we are just talking about one mountain, so Mont Blanc is high. But if you compare Mont Blanc with Mont Denali, you would say Mont Denali is higher than Mont Blanc. So in this case, you use comparative of the adjective and than, higher than Mont Blanc. And we use superlative to talk about many things, more than two things. For example, if we compare all three of the mountains here, we can say Mount Everest is the highest mountain among these three. Okay, I hope that has the any questions you can ask.
Hmm.
So we can talk about other examples as well. So remember the use of and
Yeah.
are with adjectives with only one syllable. Another adjective we learned
Oh,
that had just one syllable was wide, for example.
exactly. And Matteo has given an excellent
So
example. So the Mont Blanc is lower than Mount Denali, for example. Exactly. So lower than.
yeah.
Oh, and Vincenzo, Mount Everest uh, is the highest mountain of these three. Because remember, these, ESE, is plural and excellent, guys. So that is a superlative. And I just want to say, when you have two syllables or more,
Mm-hmm.
we usually, instead of adding ER or EST to the end of a verb, we will say more something than or
Mm-hmm.
the most. So Mount Denali is more beautiful, is my opinion, than Mont Blanc. But
Mm-hmm.
Mount Everest is the most beautiful. So I would not say is beautifuler
Mm-hmm.
or is beautifulest. You can say this, people will understand, but it's not exactly correct. So we would
Yeah.
say more something than or the most. And when we use a superlative, because it is the most or the opposite of the most is the least, we do not need to compare it to anything else because we imply that we are comparing it to everything. So Mount Everest is the most beautiful. I'm comparing this to every other mountain in the world.
Mm.
Ah, there are so many comments.
Oh. Well, so we can go over them quickly, I guess.
Yes, and then we're gonna have to leave. But it's so sad because it's been a really nice lesson.
Yeah, I was really enjoying this.
Oh, mama.
So Beatrice says, I live in Milan. Milan has not have a lot of streets where cars and alleys maybe. Stopped in a traffic jam. The most, I've lost
Most.
the comment again. Oh, the
Oh, no,
most
sorry.
important
Most
source of
important
water
source.
comes from rivers and lakes of uh, Padana. Nice, nice. Oh,
Okay.
I've read Luca's comment before. Mont Blanc is the lowest mountain.
So again, we
Not
don't need to compare it, because if it's the lowest, it's
Hmm.
compared to everything already.
Hmm. Yes, it's the
But
lowest mountain.
Beatrice,
Full stop. And then,
Beatrice,
but
good.
Mont Blanc is the highest mountain.
So this is a good comparative. Mont Blanc is lower than Everest. Yes.
Very nice. Yeah. Alex here says Mount Denali is higher than Mont Blanc, but it's lower than Mount Everest. Great.
Perfect.
Mount
Uh,
Everest. So Monte is in Italian, but Mount is in English. Mount
hmm.
Blanc is the highest in Europe. Alex says Mount Everest is the most famous in the world. Great. Everest is the highest of all. Great.
Okay, fantastic, guys. So yeah, sorry that we have to leave you, but really, really excellent with your
Yeah.
vocabulary and your grammar. And thank you for all the interaction, because it's been really, really fun. Okay,
Yes. Thank you
bye.
for joining us and have a great, great day.